On Daniel Dubois against Alexander Usyk, realistically, has he got any chance? We've got 30 seconds.
Of course he has. Look, it's a tough ask, of course. You know, the thing with Usyk is he doesn't depend on his power to knock you out. He depends on his skill. That's why it's a tough ask, because he's going to box rings around you if you let him. Dubois, good luck. Don Charles, good luck. Great British boxing, good luck. We potentially might have a heavyweight championship back on our soil.
My man's going to win, Jack. He's going to do the business. He's going to come back with those 3 belts.
And how's he going to finish it?
I hope he finishes it in style with a knockout. However he wins, it doesn't bother me as long as he gets the belts.
Time undisputed from Ukraine, Alexander Usyk.
So I'm sure George can as well. I don't know, like it's a great fight. You know, I think I'll give Dubois a shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but you know, it's exciting, and I think definitely a fight he could win.
Do you think Usyk is rattled? I've never seen him respond to something like that. It seemed out of character.
A bit strange, you know, like the push, you know, but
well, the slow motion.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But Usyk, who knows? You know, we'll see.
Daniel Dubois, he challenged Usyk in the ring after the fight.
These guys are begging now for the payday because they know who the king is.
That's right.
And these guys need him. He doesn't need them. No. Alexander Usyk can choose to fight whoever he wants. He is now the draw in the heavyweight division. He is the big name. Yeah. And I take my hat off to Anthony Joshua, I take my hat off to Tyson Fury, because they had the cojones to face him, as did Daniel Dubois. But let's not get away from anything. Daniel Dubois fought him once, and we've seen how...
Red. Yes, young man.
I say, when I win, you present me Bentley.
Yeah, and when Daniel wins, what are you going to give me?
I don't have Bentley.
What cars are
Ukrainian business. I don't have Bentley. You have, I not have.
All right.
Okay.
He's a big heavy lad. He can punch, and he's improved since their first fight. He's confident. Look what he did to AJ. Usyk couldn't finish AJ off like Dubois did, because Dubois is a big, heavy, punching heavyweight. It's going to be a tough fight. He's a massive favourite for me, Usyk, but he's the older man by over 10 years. Dubois on the crest of a wave, flying with confidence.
There is a buzz in the boxing world. A crucial rematch is scheduled on July 19th at Wembley Stadium. It's not just a championship bout either. It's a drama to its poetry. It's about vindication versus redemption. Daniel Dubois startled everyone when he floored Alexander Usyk with what many consider to be a legitimate body shot during their most recent encounter. Instead, the referee gave Usyk valuable recuperation time by calling it a low hit. The issue hasn't subsided even after he returned to stop Dubois in round 9. Fans are wondering what may have been, while Dubois and his team are certain he was robbed.
Ну мне тоже боляче, и шо?
Я тебе ровно бью, так.
И шо?
Я ж тебе не так бью.
А я, це твої проблеми, як ти б'єш. Давай.
However, a number of specialists also had a voice in addition to the fans. The most incendiary of them was made by Lennox Lewis, the last heavyweight champion to be crowned uncontested in history, who made this explosive prediction only days ago. I believe he's prepared. He has experienced all of the hardships. He is the murderer of the king. He has the authority. He'll carry it out.
Doesn't say too much, but you can tell there's a lot of things on his mind, and being a heavyweight champion is what was always on his mind. And even the fact that, you know, he got presented the belt, he wants to prove himself in the ring and go in there and say, yeah, I deserve to keep this belt.
Putting all restraints aside, Lewis recognizes Dubois as a legitimate champion who has put in the effort, is capable of pulling off a stunner at Wembley, and is eager to prove himself in the ring. These aren't just words of hype. They originate from a guy who has seen what it takes to unseat a champion who is almost flawless. Calling this battle is not at all simple. The anxiety is also reflected in the betting markets. Although Usyk is the favorite, the odds are closer than ever because to Dubois' strength and vengeance story.
Anthony Joshua is still there. There's a big right from Joshua, what a shot! Dubois wobbling. Dubois felt there. Joshua's gone in for the finish now. Oh, down he goes! Absolutely flattened! What a shot! Anthony Joshua face down at Wembley after he landed his best punch. He's going to be counted out by Marcus McDonald. That's astonishing! Absolutely astonishing!
Here's the question then. Will Dubois change the course of history by harnessing that Kingslayer energy? Or will Usyk, who is still unbeaten and has impeccable timing, finally demonstrate why he is regarded as one of the best heavyweights of all time? Since their first bout, Dubois has been unstoppable, defeating notable opponents like Miller, Hrgovic, and Joshua, but he claims it is insufficient. He has to quiet the haters in order to achieve justice. Now that he is the uncontested 4BL king, Usyk wants to put an end to the controversies, quiet the skeptics, and establish his legacy.
Yeah,
Really?
last time he got away, yeah, when he felt it.
Yeah, I'm not horse.
Yeah,
of course.
He never come away. Yeah, he got away last time. This time, he got away from a beating.
Horse punch one
feel the real
time,
power
I'm
next
punch one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, 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 two.
The boxing community is currently divided. While some analysts believe Dubois poses a serious danger, others believe Usyk will continue to dominate. Hearn was unsure about who to support while speaking with Daz and Eddie. But Hearn gave weight to the rematch result by highlighting Dubois' incredible run, in which he had won 3 stoppages since their first fight. In actuality, it's for the unchallenged heavyweight title. Daniel Dubois may be the undisputed heavyweight champion in the world. You know, he is powerful and can punch, but I doubt he will be. People think that in order to defeat Usyk, the larger guy must be more powerful and push him back. Regarding AJ, it is what everyone stated. However, it's not that simple. Take a look at AJ's size. Check out Tyson Fury's size. They were unable to push him back, beat him up, or take the initiative. Is Daniel Dubois capable? Most likely not, but he's in the battle. Youthful, assertive, and heavy-handed.
He's 6'6", he's about 18 stone. What would you expect in him? Not to look big and strong? I mean, you know, like he's dangerous. People looking for ways to kind of talk up Daniel Dubois' chances. You don't need to. He's a live underdog, but he's an underdog.
Let's examine the opinions of individuals who are close to these two fighters. One individual has expertise dealing with both Dubois and Usyk. We are discussing Martin Bilal, a heavyweight from Congo. The 31-year-old even claimed to have knocked out the 2 heavyweight champions for this bout after sparring with Usyk and Dubois. He says that physicality will be crucial in this situation and thinks Usyk will win. He said the following things. Except for me, Usyk defeats everyone. Wilder, Deontay, I believe it's finished. Usyk is a boxing guy with a boxing movement and mentality. Martin Bilal is the only one who I believe can stop him at this time. Bilal said,
You stopped Daniel Dubois and Usyk in sparring. Can you elaborate on that?
They never come back to say that I'm lying because they know it's the truth. And because, you know, when you go to spar someone in the gym, so you're not allowed to record it, because if I was allowed, I was going to pause the video. And I'm happy because nobody can, you know, say that I'm lying, so it's true. And I don't lie because I need a fight. No, I want a big fight. They're avoiding me now. They know reason why. So I should tell people why they're avoiding me, because they know what happened in the gym. So now they're avoiding me. And now people see that I'm telling the truth. And now we need the fight. So.
Do you remember the shots specifically that dropped them?
Uppercut, left hook, jab. All of them, I give them a hard time with the jab. I always keep this one for the fight. So soon I use it once, so you can't stand. But the nose, I got nice jab, nice left hook, So everyone get it.
However, after losing to Usyk in 2018, former cruiserweight champion Tony Bello has provided a more circumspect assessment. Tony has a solid understanding of the Ukrainian's strength and ability. He shares his thoughts on the fight between these two heavyweight titans in an interview with TalkSport. The world's top heavyweight is Usyk. He is most likely the greatest heavyweight of our time. It can no longer be disputed. He is very skilled at what he does.
Quick word about Usyk then, just before we move on. Currently confirmed himself now, isn't he, as the top heavyweight in the round. But where does he compare to the greatest heavyweights ever? And what does your top 5 heavyweights of all time look like now?
I think he's up there. On accolades alone and achievements, he's right up there.
Yeah, it's got to be, isn't he?
You'd have to look. He's come from the cruiserweight division where he's reigned, gone into everyone's backyard and beat them up on their own patch. He's gone to the heavyweight division, which I didn't think he'd be able to fully. I thought he'd win a version of a world title at heavyweight. I thought he might be able to nick it off someone like a Joseph Parker or someone like that.
Yeah.
But to go up there and face the biggest and the baddest.
Do you think he could have done it in any era of heavyweight? Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I struggle to have him ahead of Lennox Lewis.
I thought you were going to say Lennox, yeah.
Lennox is just...
Would have been what an interesting fight that would have been.
Mate, Lennox technically was brilliant. And then with the great Emmanuel Stewart in his corner, I just think he it's not that he'd have figured him out, I think he'd have just been too much, because Lennox was the first of the giant era. Lennox was the first big guy. I'm not sure if Lennox is 6'4 or 6'5", but Lennox is a big dude, and I've met Lennox in person. I was actually surprised when I met him in person. I thought he'd be bigger, but as guys get older, you know, the muscle mass decreases and stuff like that. So, well, I just thought he is a big lump. I imagine him in his heyday. He was a big guy, big, strong guy, but he had huge amounts of technical ability. So, I've got Usyk in the top 5, 100%. I just don't know where. I mean, a lot of mine is nostalgic and goes off the likes of Mike Tyson in his prime, and the prime was so short-lived.
Sadly true.
No one can ever deny Muhammad Ali. I think George Foreman's the greatest puncher who's ever graced the game. There's so many there or thereabouts. I couldn't give you a definite from 1 to 5.
That's quite fair, to be fair. You just don't know.
All I could say is I just don't know.
Probably changes on a day-to-day basis in some ways.
For achievements alone, Muhammad Ali is the greatest heavyweight ever.
Whole video. Dubois has performed well. He has repeatedly shown me that I was mistaken when I wrote him off. He has a chance, therefore you have to give him a chance. However, Usyk has already forced him to resign once. Can he force him to do it again then? At this point in his career, Dubois has conquered a great deal of hardship and is more self-assured than ever.
It was nuts, but no one said anything.
No.
But then ultimately when Alexander Usyk fights Daniel Dubois, and his shorts are on his navel, and you can clearly see his belly button at times in the fight. No one said, all of a sudden his shorts are high. So it's whatever suits people's narrative and agendas at the time. For people who are Fury fans, do you want to say Usyk's done this or he's robbed that? For people who are Dubois fans, just look at the cold, hard facts. He hits him on the protector. The protector's called the protector for a reason. And then ultimately, look at how the fight ended up. I mean, he had enough.
Kevin Lena, a cruiserweight contender from South Africa, recently spoke with TV and offered a fair and cautious assessment of the impending fight. Lena's observation is noteworthy as he has direct knowledge of Dubois, having battled him in 2022 and gone the distance before losing by TKO.
South African. He's got to dig deep now. Dubois lands a crunching left hook in there. Yeah, great uppercut as well. Lorena's going.
According to his decision, it's a coin toss until one guy delivers the game-winning blow. He believes that Usyk sets the tone for the late round with his better ring IQ. Here is what Dubois had to say, even if his strength and early aggressiveness may decide the match early. It's a 50-50 battle. You may get that often. It is said to be a 50-50. One is a very strong puncher who uses concussions. His confidence is at an all-time high, and he can deliver a nice jab. Additionally, one is a magician, perhaps one of our time's best boxing technicians. Lena said, I believe Usyk wins handily if Daniel is unable to injure Alexander during the first 6 to 8 rounds. Nevertheless, I believe Daniel will pose a serious threat throughout the initial part of the battle. It seems that many professionals are supporting the Ukrainian in this battle. However, one divisive personality begs to disagree. That would be John Fury, who also happens to be Tyson Fury's trainer and father. Is this a forecast made in retaliation for his son's defeats at Usyk's hands? Or is John really working on a project? Good luck to Alexander Usyk, but again, he's going to go on too long. And I just see Daniel Dubois becoming a multi-belt champion, because how many fights have you got in you? He said in an interview. These large guys are hammering away at you as you advance from cruiserweight to heavyweight. He just needs to walk into one, Fury said. Both Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk are honing their weapons as fight night draws near. However, their methods are quite different. According to reports, Dubois, the younger and more physically formidable boxer, is concentrating his whole camp on the term pressure. To cut off the ring and capture Usyk early, his team has placed a strong emphasis on an aggressive, fast-paced game plan. In a recent interview, Coach Don Charles disclosed the following information. We have no intention of boxing him. Our goal is to shatter him. There has been a lot of focus on bodywork, particularly in the same spot where Dubois made that legendary fifth-round shot during their first encounter. Usyk's camp, however, is still operating methodically. Training has mostly focused on footwork, exercises, lateral movement, and angle control. His group thinks that using surgical counters to wear Dubois down and annoy him is the answer. One of his trainers said to Sky Sports last week that we plan to turn it into order by round 5, but we expect chaos early. What then occurs when exquisite discipline and unadulterated devastation collide? Will Dubois unleash the storm that overthrows Usyk in the end? Or can the brilliant Ukrainian overcome hardship once again and demonstrate that he is still king? Post your forecasts in the comments section. Get ready for someone's legacy will be permanently altered on July 19th. Subscribe for more about analysis.